She's not very sensitive.
No, not only not very sensitive, but what is it clearly showing? Yes, bodily platform, bodily platform. He thinks she is a woman. You know, he cannot see through the external covering and see the spirit soul there, but he thinks she is a woman. And he forgets that maybe in last life he was also in that body, and if he's not careful, next life he will be again in that body. That he forgets. He thinks she is a woman, and that's why he is, you know, disrespectful. Yeah, it's bodily platform. Exactly. So, our men have to get off the bodily platform. And we women, of course, too. Yes. Okay, let me see. Are there any questions so far on what we discussed? Any questions? Anything to discuss? Or am I overloading and wearing you out and you're getting tired? No? I mean, we have soon finished, but is there any question? No? Yes? Yes.
Как трябва да реагираме, ако някой мъж предано отдаден се опитва да се шегува с нас по неуместен начин?
How we have to react if some men try to make jokes with us in a not very proper way?
How do we react if a man makes jokes to us in not a proper way? It's a little off the topic, isn't it? I mean, better just Hare Krishna. I mean, it depends, of course, a little bit who it is. You know, if it is some senior person or something, we maybe just tolerate and smile or something, or if we have some important dealings with that person, we can't just say Hare Krishna and walk off or something. We just tolerate it and try to get the topic back to the point or something, you know, like that. And it also depends on our relationship to that person, you know. If we are like his authority or something, then, you know, then maybe we have to say, oh, you know, this was not so appropriate or something. You know, so it depends on what relationship we have, you know. Yes. But very often it's just better to just let it go by and not react on it and simply come back to the point there, you know. Yes. Yeah, there was... Yes, Peru?
I was thinking about this, you said men and women, and this is bodily platform. Then on the spiritual platform we have the soul. Is it possible to be completely on a transcendental level of association? For example, like following the Vaishnava etiquette. Is that sufficient? Is this above the level of bodily concepts? I mean to say we have to, if we just follow the, we may say as devotees, okay, we are not the body, we are the soul. And if we are the soul, then we follow these rules. These are the Vaishnava etiquette. I am Vaishnava and you are Vaishnava. So is that sufficient? This is my question. Or we have to take into account also the body, although we are not.
So the question is, if we are on the transcendental platform, understanding we are the soul, can't we just apply the Vaishnava etiquette in regards to the soul? Well, I mean, as far as I understand, the Vaishnava etiquette is actually considering what kind of vehicle we are driving, you know? I mean, the whole Vaishnava etiquette and culture takes that into account. And the point is, I mean, Vaishnava etiquette is not necessarily related to just the soul. No, Vaishnava etiquette, there's so many things. You know, how to behave to the other gender is a whole discussion of etiquette. Actually, in the blue book here, I'm talking about that a bit, you know. Or etiquettes in regard to seniors, juniors, you know, I mean, we can say it's all bodily platform, senior, junior, soul is eternal. What's the senior, junior thing there, you know? So, I mean, Vaishnava etiquette is very much, related to the temporary situation, be it driving a certain body. Vaishnava etiquette are the traffic rules, you know? And I mean, let us be clear in this, that being on the transcendental platform does not mean we act like some other dude or something. No, we still, you know, accept what kind of body we are having and what roles we are meant to play. I mean, a good example is also Lord Nityananda's consort, you know, Janava Mataji. You know, even though she's an eternal associate of Nityananda, but she always acted in the role of mother. You know, cooking for everybody and being the caregiver there in the festival and being so chaste behind the palanquin with the veil and. So she didn't say, oh, I'm not this body and just, act like a man or something. No. And even in the spiritual world, you know, also there, the living entities are playing the roles according to the body they have. It's not that Mother Yashoda all of a sudden plays Nanda Maharaj's role or something, you know, or Nanda Maharaj is feeding the Krishna Balaram or what, you know. No, they're sticking to the bodies and roles they're meant to play. They get the body according to how they want to serve, you know. Even there, they don't just, disregard the bodies they're having, you know. Yes, let's be clear on this, you know. Yes. So there's no confusion even in the spiritual world, you know. Yes.
Ние говорихме за нивото тяло и душа, но различните и мъже и жени имат различни характери. Едни обичат слабко, други мъчили. Това ще обсъждаме ли в отношения?
We spoke about the soul and about the body, but also the different men, the different ladies, they have differences in the characters, like someone likes sweet, someone likes salty. Are we going to speak about this tomorrow when we discuss the relationships between men and women?
We're not getting in such details. But see, let us understand what we often call character or nature is actually our conditioning. The nature of the soul is very, very different than what we call now our nature. It's our luggage we are carrying, which we call now our nature, but the nature of the soul is very, very different. Right? Let's be clear in that. You know? I mean, we the same subtle body of mind, intelligence, thoughts, ego, we have carried this with us for so many lifetimes. There's so many experiences and things stored there, you know, and that's what we call now our nature. But it's not our true nature as spirit soul. It's our luggage, our conditioning. We want to get rid of that conditioning. Not that we want to preserve it and maintain it and say, oh, that's what I am. No, it's our conditioning, our luggage, you know. Let's be clear on that, you know. I want to use these last 15 minutes to read some interesting quotes with you. So, yes, at least those who don't understand English, then you can look in your things there, or if you want to hear it stereo in English and read it in Bulgarian, then so especially the first one is a very humorous one, but so to the point. It's an interview which a lady reporter made with Srila Prabhupada on the 7th of July 75. So listen carefully. Reporter: what advice do you have for women who do not want to be subordinate to men? Prabhupada: it is not my advice, but the advice of the Vedic literatures, that a woman should be chaste and faithful to her husband. Reporter: what should we do in the United States? We are trying to make women equal to men. Prabhupada: you will never be equal with men, because in so many respects your functions are different. Why do you say artificially they're equal with men's? The wife has to become pregnant, not the husband. How can you change this? Both the husband and wife will become pregnant? Is it possible? Reporter: no reply. Prabhupada: is it possible? Reporter: no, it is not. Prabhupada: then by nature one has to function differently from the other. Reporter: why does this mean that women have to be subordinate just because they bear children and men can't? Prabhupada: by nature, as soon as you get children, you require support from your husband. Otherwise, you are in difficulty. Actually, you can close a little bit the door. Reporter: many women with children have no support from their husband. They have no Prabhupada. Then they have to take support from others. You cannot deny that. The government is giving them support. Today, the government is embarrassed. If the husband supported the wife and children, the government would be relieved of so much welfare expenditure. So that is a problem. Reporter: what happens when women support men? Prabhupada: first of all, try to understand that you are dependent. After a man and woman unite, there are children, and if the man goes away, you are embarrassed. The woman is embarrassed. Why? The poor woman is embarrassed with a child. She has to beg from the government. So, do you think it is a very nice thing? The Vedic idea is that a woman should be married to a man, and the man should take care of that woman and the children independently, so that they do not become a burden to the government and to the public. Reporter: do you think that the social unrest? I am thinking like this. You give me the answer. Simply you go on questioning. I will question you. Do you think this burden to the government and the public is good? Reporter: I don't understand what you are saying. Prabhupada: every year the government has to pay out millions of dollars in aid to dependent children. Do you think that this burden caused when the husband goes away from the wife, this burden to the government and the public is good? No. Prabhupada: that has happened because the woman does not agree to be subordinate. She wants equal freedom. Reporter: and if women were subordinate to the men, I suppose that would solve all our problems? She's trying to be sarcastic here, thinking, so if woman is subordinate, that will solve all our problems. She's just playing the game here. Prabhupada: yes, the husband wants that his wife should be subordinate, faithful to him. Then he is ready to take charge. Man's mentality and woman's mentality are different. So, if the woman agrees to remain faithful and subordinate to the man, then family life will be peaceful. Otherwise, the husband goes away and the woman is embarrassed with the children, and it becomes a burden to the government and the people in general. Reporter: is there anything wrong when the woman works? Prabhupada: is there anything wrong when the woman works? Sorry, reporter. Prabhupada: there are so many things wrong. But the first thing is, why should some man's wife and child become a burden to the government or the public? First of all, answer this. Why should she become a burden? Prabhupada is really pushing this point, again and again. He's coming back to that, Reporter: no reply. Prabhupada: what is your answer? Reporter: well, men are burden to the government too. Prabhupada: do you think, from the social point of view, that this situation of women and fatherless children is a very nice thing? Reporter: what I'm trying to say is that this may happen to some women. I'm talking about women who are not. Prabhupada: this is the general pattern. You cannot say some. In America, I see they are mostly women. The woman should be subordinate to the man so that the man can take charge of the woman. Then the woman is not a problem for the public. Reporter: is this true for all women and all men? She thinks maybe only for Indian women and men or something. Prabhupada: yes, that is the law of nature. You take even the dogs, they also take care of their children. The tigers, they take care of their children. So in the human society, if the woman is made pregnant and the man goes away, then she is embarrassed. She has to beg from the government. That is not a very good situation. Reporter: what about women who do not have children? Prabhupada: well, that is another unnatural thing. Sometimes they use contraceptives or they kill their children, abortion. That is also not very good. These are all sinful activities. Reporter: excuse me? She doesn't understand what sinful activities are. Prabhupada: these are sinful activities, killing the child in the womb and taking shelter of abortion. These are all sinful activities. One has to suffer for them. Reporter: is the social unrest in this country caused because, Prabhupada, because of these things? They do not know that. Yeah, so Prabhupada always has this approach, to this whole equality question. Always very basic, that nobody can refute, that he says, how can man and woman be equal? Woman becomes pregnant, man cannot. How can they be equal? He always brings it back to that point, again and again. Yes. Actually, tomorrow, pain of separation. Just maybe go outside until she comes down. So tomorrow we will more discover how this misunderstanding of equality actually puts whole Krishna system out of place. This misunderstanding of equality, this is the root cause of everything else going out of place. It's like, in mathematics, if we think 1 + 1 = 5, then no matter how advanced our mathematics are, everything is wrong because it's based on the wrong basic assumption. So that's what this whole man-woman equality is like. It puts everything else out of place. It's the root cause, like Prabhupada says, Yes, when she asks, is the social unrest in this country caused because of these things? They do not know that, I want to quickly, can you turn it a little bit up because my voice is getting so tired, you really turned it down, and I have to scream, you know. Yes, thank you. I want to share a couple more things, the quotes. I don't have time to read them all, but I want to pick not the next one, but the one after. The morning walk on the 14th of July, 75. There Prabhupada says a strong thing. He says, free prostitutes. You go to a prostitute, you have to pay. Here they have arranged in such a way that free prostitute loitering on the street, and you can enjoy anyone. This is their plan. They are rendered into beggar, and they are thinking equal rights. So what's Prabhupada saying here? He's basically clearly understanding that this whole equality propaganda, it actually relieves the men from their responsibilities. Right? Yes. And it makes women more easily available for sense gratification. And that was a conscious plan of those personalities who propagated this equality, you know? Because we said materialistic culture means sense gratification is the all in all, sex life is it. That's the highest material pleasure. So, in order to make this more easily available, that's why this whole propaganda, starting in America, came in of this equality. And Prabhupada, even though he was an elderly man coming from India, he could see the whole game completely. You know? And he says, yes, you know, this is their plan. They are rendered into beggar, and they are thinking equal rights. You know, so the women think, oh yes, we are equal, but they're made into beggars, because they're basically, you know, that's how Prabhupada says, free prostitutes. That's the whole arrangement. So any woman can be enjoyed at any time, and if she's pregnant, oh well, okay, it was nice with you, see you later, we are equal, so goodbye, you know? Yes. That's behind it. So it's good to understand this, you know, what's behind this whole equality understanding. Simply that women can be more easily and freely used for sense gratification, and men don't have to be responsible. And this is in fact like that. I mean, I know one devotee, when he joined the temple, he actually had a pregnant girlfriend, and he left her. And I was pretty shocked, and I got on his case, and I said, how can you do this? You know, your girlfriend is pregnant, and you just leave her and move into the temple? You know, what is this? You know, and actually I met her once. She was actually a nice girl. If he had been a little, you know, mature, she would have become a devotee. But he left her, moved in the temple. So when I chastised him, you know what he said? He said to me, well, I thought we are equal, and the government pays. That exactly was his answer, exactly that, what Prabhupada is illustrating. You know? I thought we are equal, but the government pays, so that's exactly what it does to a man's mind, you know? It makes him irresponsible, you know? Yes. Yes, so I mean, interesting to really clearly understand how much of a conscious plan this was from some demoniac leaders there, just to increase sense gratification within society, to come up with this whole equality plan there, you know? Then the next one also we will not read, but there is a couple more, where Yogeshwara says, after the next conversation, you jump this over, and then Yogeshwara. Yes, you got it? So Yogeshwara says, here is a problem. The women today want the same rights as men. How can they be satisfied? And Prabhupada's answer, everything will be satisfied. Just like our women, Krishna conscious, they are working. They don't want equal rights with men. Well, maybe not at that time. It is due to Krishna consciousness. They're cleansing the temple. They're cooking very nicely. They're satisfied. They never say that I have to go to Japan for preaching like Prabhupada. They never say, this is artificial. So Krishna consciousness means work in his constitutional position. The women, the men, when they remain in their constitutional position, there will be no, and then there is some, no artificial, and then there is some traffic noise and we can't hear how the sentence finishes. But very nicely Prabhupada says, no, man-woman equality, no. Working according to one's constitutional position within Krishna consciousness. And then the whole thing becomes purifying, Yes. Next one is also a good one. Srila Prabhupada didn't want us to adopt American ways of life. After Bhagavad Gita lecture, Srila Prabhupada was asked if he was in this world. He replied, just like I am in America, it is very easy to understand. I am not adopting any ways of life as the Americans. So I am not in America. Not only myself, all my disciples who are following me, they are also not Americans. They're different from American behavior, American ways of life. In that sense, I'm not in America. I am in Vrindavan because wherever I go, in my apartment or in my temple, I live with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. I don't accept any consciousness of America. And I teach my disciples also to take to that consciousness. So one who takes to that consciousness, he is also not in America, not in this world. So very clear what Prabhupada wanted us to do, he calls it America consciousness, we can call it materialistic culture, and Vrindavan consciousness, which is spiritual culture. Prabhupada very clearly says, no, we don't want American ways of life, American behavior, American consciousness. No. And last one, I think. Yes. The next one is also good. In a Bhagavad Gita lecture in Germany in June 74, Prabhupada says the following. So this statement will not be very palatable to the Western girls. They want independence. In Chicago, when I was there, they talked about independence of the woman. They asked me question. So I replied, no, woman cannot be given independence. So there was a great agitation against me. In many newspapers, I was very much criticized. But actually it is the fact, because they're innocent, not so intelligent, and these are all practical. We may avoid discussing, but Bhagavad is very open for discussing all subject matter. That is fact. We should not hide anything artificially. We must discuss the fact. Not only here, the mention it is, the Manu Samhita. Manu Samhita recommends a woman should not be given independence. For their interest, they must be protected by father, husband and sons, because if they're polluted, they become very dangerous. Yes. So also, very, very strong words, and even Prabhupada was criticized, for saying these things, but he says, we have to discuss, we cannot hide, this is Krishna system, that's the way it is, yes. Okay, any concluding question? Let's quickly conclude by turning to a neighbor and share what is the realization of this 3-hour session. What are you taking home? Hopefully something. Quickly share, just in pairs. Turn to your neighbor there.
Хора имат различни собствени качества, как не само и между различни качества. Трябва просто да берем
ясно да има две компоненти, духовна и материална. И по отношение на материалната, както материалната се разделя различието на духовната Сакам края да говоря повече за това, че жената нещо време имат
качествата, как искаш да зависиш, как е качеството на жената. Беше ли когато да взима за трактора и
за трактора и за
че мъжа е трактора, жената е като и как мъжа е твърдия, който така жената е да. И по-фина и по-привлекателна, по-трябва да се защитава повече и че тя всъщност трябва да бъде трябва да на мъжете и не само на собствено съгласие, но тя трябва да бъде източника на inspiration.
на вдъхновение.
Да, на вдъхновение. Да.
Всички са слушали внимателно и да се опитат да реализират към края защото преди това театралната реализация бе говорила за това, че всеки от нас има различни качества и трябва да
това като говори за специфично за мъже да говори просто, че както нали това беше чак началото на това беше аз не експликай важно детайлите, ама не. Беше страхотно.
Сутринта беше страхотно. Откриваш ли нови неща? Защото трябва да кажа, това е за мъжете.
Аз началото преди да изригам, сега влиза какво аз съм промочар и говоря да мъже и жените, ама има, да, това бяхме впечатлени.
Че вие смисъл цялата да планираш.
Не само да бъдеш дори в сегашния, аз го прехвърлих това.
Има неща, които са винаги стари животи.
Okay, go Premanandi. Okay, everybody, it's 8:12, so maybe we'll conclude on that note. So this was just session number 1, so we've got 3 more days, so please come back. There is a lot of interesting things here waiting for you. So I'm actually very happy that so many of you came, and I think it's a nice mood here in our Bhajan Kutir. Yes, yeah, I actually like to have rooms which are just big enough to squeeze everybody in, you know, that always creates a good mood. But if I sit in some huge hall there, I don't like this kind of arrangement. So this is really perfect, you know. And even the weather not being so nice is also perfect, so we are not distracted by sunshine and all that. So yeah, so please come back tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll meet at 6, right? Everybody can be here at 6.